So this video is more about a cultural issue than a biblical teaching, but they're both together, like they go hand by hand, because a lot of the problems that we have in society and culture right now are based on a departure from biblical teachings, the Bible, God, and everything else. So this is something that is really important for me, and I think it should be really important for most people. If you notice, our society is declining, values and morals are gone, people are doing whatever they want and whatever is good in their own eyes. And for this reason, a lot of people is suffering. So yesterday I made a post about casual sex and how God had created sex for marriage only and why. And also I spoke about the implications of like basically what are the consequences of joining yourself to other people that are ultimately not staying in your life, and how these spiritual consequences can bring you a lot of problems down the road. Now, one thing that I did not touch in that post was the other consequence of having sexual relationships outside of marriage, which is having babies. And unfortunately, children are the ones that will suffer the most. So, yesterday when I was writing about this topic, I mentioned that God gave us commandments for our own protection and well-being because He wants us to be safe and whole, because He wants us to be basically happy. So every time we disobey something that God does, we put ourselves at risk of hurting ourselves, damaging others, and I think with the baby situation, that's literally something that can be easily seen. So what happens when a woman becomes pregnant out of a marriage or by somebody that they don't even know? Usually what would happen in our society right now is that they might seek an abortion, they might stay as single mothers, they might get married and the marriage is not going to work out because it was not a marriage of choice, it's going to be a marriage of obligation. In any of these scenarios, it's really bad for the children, okay? If someone has not committed to you forever, they're not going to commit to your children either. That's one of the things that you have to think about. If someone didn't want to get married with you and then you have a child and they get married for that, it's more about it's more about society's pressure than something that they actually want to do, and that usually doesn't work. If both parents are not in God, very unlikely that they will be able to show each other true love or compassion or have any sense of morality to do the right thing. So with that in mind, today I was on Reddit, and I like to comment on Reddit a lot, and I saw this post in relationship advice about a woman who had a baby with her live-in boyfriend, and after 4 months of the baby being born, she finds out that he was actually cheating on her, and he didn't want to leave her because he didn't want her to take the baby away. But they're not married. But she's obviously destroyed, and I mean, it's just a mess, right? And I feel like this is one of those reasons why people are not supposed to have babies with someone they're not committed to. But more than that, besides the stupidity of this man for what he's done and the lack of any sense of morality on his part, one of the commentators stated that women should never... Oh yeah, that's the one thing I forgot to mention. She wanted to stay stay-at-home mom, and she had quit her job, because she was planning. The boyfriend was able to make enough money, so she didn't have to worry about working while she was taking care of the baby, which I think is great. But because of this happening, now she's kind of lost. She doesn't have any income, she doesn't have any savings, and she didn't know what to do. Now, one of the commentators chastised this girl by saying that how would she ever think that she should stop working? How she could ever put herself at the mercy of a man? And all of these different things, that women shouldn't lose their power when they get pregnant and blah, 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 blah. So my response to that was, women who decide to have a baby with a man and are in a sort of relationship, they have to trust them. And when you trust them, you don't expect them to just go and cheat on you, especially if you think about having a baby with them. Okay? And what was right for the baby was literally that she will stay with the baby. What was not right is what he did, you know? So if we think about this, God has made us, he made men and women complementary with each other. Women are supposed to be nurturing, loving, caring, raise children, take care of things in the household. And that was traditionally what they would do. And man, on the other hand, is supposed to be the protector of the house, the one that takes care of things, provides, and is responsible, and a leader, and, keeps the safety of the home and takes care of the things that she can do. The same way that women will do the things that he can do. That's the whole point of having a helpmeet, is someone that will help you or support you with all your needs. So the same thing with the man. He was supposed to do those things. And if you think in the context of marriage, God commanded the husband to love his wife like a part of his own body. And he commanded the wife to respect the husband, just unto the Lord. Why? Because this is how the dynamic of a relationship, of a marriage is supposed to work. If we think about just keeping sexual relationships within a marriage, and both the husband and the wife are doing exactly those things that God commanded us to do, cheating wouldn't happen. Kids wouldn't be abandoned, And that's the biggest thing about this culture. Like, people that are not in God, or that are in God, but they don't really believe or follow God's commandments, do not remember that this is what's supposed to happen in marriage. And when you don't, you become selfish. You don't know how to show true love. You don't know how to appreciate your partners. Resentment and bitterness will grow. And with that, your relationship is half dead. I don't believe that women are supposed to be independent and powerful and strength and all of that, because we were never made to be like that. We were never intended to be like that. Like, how they're saying that it takes a village to raise a kid? That was how it used to be. Like, people in your community, your family and friends, they will help you raising a child. Because while a woman can be a full-time mom, that doesn't mean that she doesn't need any breaks. That doesn't mean that she can go alone all the time. Like, when I was a first-time mom, my daughter was born prematurely, and I was keeping an eye on her all the time because she was only like 3 pounds, 4 pounds. And it was so much so that I couldn't even take a shower in. Like, I had to have friends come over while my husband was at work and help me so I could actually take a shower or go to sleep, take a nap, because I was 100% constantly watching over my kid, because she was little, vulnerable, and just premature, So really, realistically, like, children need their mothers, children need community, and the protection of a husband allows a woman to develop their nurturing side, to be happy, comfortable, to not have to worry about the things that are happening around her, not have to worry about our livelihood. There's so many things that women are supposed to do and are worried about, and protection and financial security shouldn't be one of them when they're a mother. So just think about those things, before you make the decision to have a baby with somebody. Think about those things. Are they going to be a good father? Are they committed to you? Would they be able to protect you and keep you financially secure? Are they going to do whatever it takes to protect your family? So, like, if not, if they hesitate about committing to you, then they're not really a good person you want to be married with. And probably will leave if things get rough. And the other thing too is communication. Like, if a parent doesn't know how to set boundaries or how to communicate their expectations, feelings, thoughts about a situation, or they just avoid conflict at all costs, that is not a good person you want to be with. And the thing that really bothered me about this commentator they said, well, what if they cheat? What if they leave you? What if they are abusive? What if this or that? Like, if you come into a relationship with those ideas, you're never going to be able to be emotionally vulnerable with them. And a deep intimate relationship like marriage requires you to be vulnerable. And saying, what if this or what if that, is just putting walls up. How could you become one flesh with someone that has walls up? But this is the thing. The reason why that happens is because most men and most women are damaged, hurt, untrustworthy, and they don't expect anybody else to be better than that. We need Jesus. We definitely need Jesus. If people in the world would know that God is a God of love, that God commands things in a marriage for a purpose, so much heartbreak could be saved. If men would actually be raised and taught to keep their masculinity, to become protectors, to get pride and and feel like it's an honor to take care of their families, to take care of the children. If they were raised up to be good men, things would be so different. What the culture is doing now to our children is raising men that are not really men, they're boys. Raising women that are acting like men. And it's just upside down. Men that think that they have to be independent because otherwise they won't be safe. This was never what God intended. And this is not the way to live. This is not the way to carry on a relationship. If you have those hurts, if you have that baggage on you, if you don't know how to be responsible, how to be a protector, don't get in a serious committed relationship. Don't get married. Don't have kids. Don't go having sex with people, because you will be really bad at it. Heal. Make sure that you know what you want. Get your own boundaries. Learn how to say no. Heal your wounds from the past. Heal your abandonment issues, your fear issues. Please don't hurt your children and don't hurt your future. Thank you.